Today we're going to be going over the top 5 best Pokemon purchases that I've ever made. And it's going to be a pretty special video for 2 reasons. One is because we're going back in time. I've been collecting since 2005. I only stopped for a couple of years because my friends thought it was lame. But then as soon as uni hit, I got right back into it. I had a bit of a nostalgia attack and I literally spent every dollar I earned on buying all the old school Pokemon cards. And back then, prices were pretty cheap. So you're going to see some insane bargains. I've also got some old videos that I'll show some snippets of, because I've been making videos since 2014. And the second reason this video is special is because of this week's video sponsor. The sponsor's name's Whatnot, and before you skip this part, just hear me out. Whatnot has given us 10 ETBs of Paldean Fates to give away to you guys. And literally all you have to do to enter is sign up to Whatnot using my referral link in the description below. Don't worry, it's free and it will actually give you $10 of free credit. Then all you have to do is comment your Whatnot username under this video. I'll announce the winners live on the 24th of February. Then I'll tag the winners in the pinned comments so you'll know if you won. Usually I don't do sponsored posts, but Whatnot provides a service that's really well aligned with the Pokemon community. They're a social marketplace, so basically people are going live to show off the products and then you can buy them in real time directly through the app. And I'm actually planning to use it for some of our Geopower box breaks once those boxes arrive. So head over there and shoot me a follow, and if you're one of the first 20 people, I'll even follow you back. Now without further ado, let's get into my top 5 Pokemon purchases. Number 5 is this first edition Fossil booster box. But hang on, that's a Jungle Box retro. You are correct. I opened the Fossil box in 2014, so we'll put this video in the background showing me opening every pack. This is one of the first Pokemon purchases that I ever made. I got this box from an eBay auction and there was only one bidder. The starting price was $330, which when you think about it is absolutely insane because these days these boxes are going for around 15,000 Australian dollars. I think it was like a Friday or a Saturday and my parents had left the house and I decided to get out my video camera and make my first ever Pokemon YouTube video. And I was desperate for the Dragonite. I was getting so frustrated at the start of the video because we weren't getting any holo hits. And then this happens and... Yes! Classic. It was a 3-part series and in the 3rd part, I ended up pulling 2 holo Dragonites from the one box. I got them both graded and one got a PSA 9 and the other got a PSA 10. Number 4 is this Ultra Pro leather binder that I bought it around the same time as that first edition Fossil box. I got this from another auction on eBay, but this one was a little bit more competitive with around 40 different people bidding. The listing included a complete shadowless base set, a complete first edition Fossil and Jungle set, and finally an incomplete first edition base set. It included some of the holos like the first edition Venusaur, but it didn't have the Charizard or the Blastoise. Back then, nobody was really spending more than $1,000 on Pokemon cards. But I really wanted this item, so I put in a bid of around $1,500, which for the time was pretty much unheard of. I ended up winning for around $600. These cards were pretty much in mint condition and I ended up getting all the holos graded. This Venusaur right here ended up getting a PSA 9, which I kept until 2020 and then sold it in an auction for $17,000. It gives you a little bit of a picture as to how much Pokemon prices have actually gone up. And I think these days a binder like this would probably set you back about $30,000. Number 3 is this white Arsham Charizard sculpture. Arsham's a famous sculptor and he made these in collaboration with Pokemon. They made 2 different versions of these. One version was white and the other one was pink, and they made 500 copies of each. It kind of feels like a bit of a museum piece. It comes with gloves, it's really high quality, and it's got these little like crystals etched into it. This is the white version, and this one was the harder one to get in the Western world because they were only given to influencers in China. It was not easy to get my hands on this. You don't even want to know. Now, number 2 is my PSA 10 celery collection. I think these days I have around 30 to 35 different PSA 10 celery cards that I bought over the course of around 2 to 3 years. In total, I think I've spent around $50,000 on these cards. But obviously I'm a massive Celebi fan, so it's totally worth it to me. So this is the Japanese Meiji Celebi, which is very beautiful, not your traditional Pokemon card, but you got that one off PWCC. Then there's this phone card, which is absolutely insane. Have a look at this. It's kind of like 3D. I tried to look into the background of this card, but I couldn't really learn too much about it other than it was given out in Japan as literally a phone card. Like you could use it to insert and pay for phone credit. Some people clearly looked after them really nicely and got them graded just like this one, but it is absolutely beautiful. Then there's this lenticular one, which was very hard to get my hands on, but it's like a 3D Celebi where if you move it up and down, it changes pictures, which is super, super cool. Also part of the Bandai Pokemon card type, not a regular Pokemon card, but still awesome. So they're definitely my 3 most unique Celebis. And then I wanted to show you guys my rarest Celebis. So the first one is Crystal type Celebi from Pokemon Skyridge. So this is a secret rare from the Skyridge set. The Skyridge set now sells for like literally $70,000 in Australian. Or at least that's the last price I remember it being. It's got a beautiful Cosmos Holo on it, and it is just insanely beautiful. Valued, I think, at like $4,000 these days, something around that. Second is the Gold Star Celebi. This was the last rare Celebi that I needed to complete my Celebi collection. Again, it's kind of got that Cosmos foil, the red Celebi. It's from Crystal Guardians, and again, this was a secret rare with the little hand popping out a little bit outside of the box at the top right, denoting that it is one of the Gold Stars. Also, it's got a little Gold Star up there too. Beautiful. Next is the Shining Celebi, another secret rare Celebi from Neo Destiny, and this one is in first edition. It's got like a nice little texture on it. Don't know if you can see that. I think you can. Absolutely beautiful. And last but not least, my favorite Celebi card just got an insane amount of holo foil on it. Just look at that. This is one of the rarest secret rare Celebis ever made. So it's not just an EX, it's also a secret rare, number 117 out of 115. It's from EX Unseen Forces, which is one of the most overpowered Pokemon sets that they ever created. This card is absolutely beautiful, and this is definitely the best celery card in the world. I think I paid 7,000 USD for this, so just around kind of 10 or 11,000 Australian, which is insane, right? But one actually sold for 8,000 USD, or 8,500 USD not too long ago, but then another one sold cheaper. So I don't know what the price is of this these days, probably like 5,000. I think overall I probably lost a bit of money on all my celery cards, but they are everything to me. I would never sell any of these cards. This is kind of like the definition of my Pokemon collecting journey, all these celery cards. And you'll see I even got the custom neon sign behind me made to kind of showcase that this is the Celery Sanctuary streamy room. So definitely number 2. And last but not least, my base set booster box, which I also got it around the same time as I got that fossil booster box. And you would see this in pretty much almost every Jacob and Travis short series, just because it's such an awesome feature to include. I got this in an auction, or it might have been Buy It Now, I forgot. But I think it was something like $400 or $450. I remember posting on my Facebook page showing everyone what I bought. Everyone was like, "You're absolutely crazy for spending so much money on Pokemon cards." Little did they know that $400 is now like a $20,000 product. So definitely one of the best purchases in my life. I remember in 2020, this was going for like $50,000, but even then it just had way too much sentimental value. I just would never, ever, ever sell this. This is one of the most beautiful things ever. So yeah, this is definitely number 1. And I don't think any purchase I will ever make in my life will have anything close to the level of sentimental value that this thing has. So I keep it very, very locked up and safe. And I don't think I'll ever let go of this. Maybe my kids will open it one day when I'm on my deathbed or something. We'll see. It sounds a bit grim, but yeah, this is number 1.